gentleman actually came in, walked around the store for a while.
You can see the suspect in this new surveillance video wearing a baseball cap as he cruises around the gun shop.
You can see him looking over his shoulder.
Josh Barton, VP of Sales and Marketing, says the suspect spent about 15 to 20 minutes in the store, then walked up to the counter and grabbed a handgun while the clerks were busy with other customers.
The video did reflect that he wasn't new to putting something in his pants, as far as to grabbing something off a shelf and putting it under a sweater or something and trying to walk out.
The new cameras also caught the getaway car, which was driven by another individual. Those pictures were quickly shared with other gun shops. After experiencing a series of smash and grabs last year, metro area gun shop owners banded together and formed an information-sharing network.
So when things like this happen, we actually go in and communicate with each other. And so we send photos to each other, we let each other know what's going on.
Barton says he's glad they installed shatterproof glass and new cameras.
In a matter of hours, we were able to get the police really clear photos, clear video, and of course a lot of that got uploaded onto Facebook, which made a big difference in getting this gentleman identified.
And Barton there says the suspect stole at least 2 guns. Castle Rock police say they have made contact with the suspect and his parents, and they expect he will turn himself in this week.
Today, equipment seized from a custom food truck company will go on the auction block, but several truck owners say they've already paid for that equipment. Our Contact 7 team was there as Denver Custom Food Trucks was raided for failing to pay taxes. Funds from today's auction will go toward the owner Larry Perez's tax debt. Commerce City posted a notice on its website saying the tax division will work with those who believe they own any of the equipment inside those trucks, but unless they have documentation to prove it, they're out of luck. They'll have to go through the courts to try and get their money back. A news alert. Today, DMV locations across the state will be back open after 5 days of being closed. Over the weekend, new computer upgrades were completed to move more services online. The DMV says it may still have to work out some bugs, but if you need a driver's license or license plate, you can go to any DMV location today.
New this morning, Boulder Valley Schools is getting an award for transforming education through its online options.
Many of our students choose Boulder Universal because they have another career that they are involved in. We have dancers in London, we have kayakers and Olympic skiers and students involved in all kinds of very wonderful and interesting things.
Some students only take online classes while others use them to supplement the in-classroom learning. Officials say the program works for kids who are traveling, working with dealing with an illness perhaps. The graduation rate, by the way, for the online school is 97%.
As some of you parents get ready to send the kids off to college, others are looking for ways to pay their kids' college education. Before you take out a parental loan to help, know what you're getting into. Parents who help pay for college have an average of $32,000 in loan debt themselves. That's actually about $3,000 more than the average students have. That may be because students have a cap on how much they can take out in loans, while parents don't.
Parent loans are effectively unlimited. They can borrow up to the full cost of education minus other aid received. You should think twice because it's a sign that you may be borrowing too much money.
Before you commit to taking out a Parent Plus loan, consider whether or not it's worth risking your own financial health and retirement. If you want to check out some of our state's natural beauty, today's the day to do it. All 41 of Colorado's state parks are offering free admission in honor of our state's 142nd birthday, which was on August 1st. You can find a complete list of the parks right now on thedenverchannel.com.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, you have a chance to get some hunting licenses left over from this year's draw. Leftover Day, as they call it, allows people to get a second tag. And during the initial draw, hunters are only allowed one for each species. Now, the licenses will go on sale at 9 tomorrow morning. They're available online, but people usually camp out in front of the Parks and Wildlife offices to try to get one of those tags, so probably a good idea to be there in person. Well, art, as you know, is known for being therapeutic for a lot of people.
And this week's 7 Everyday hero uses it to help those battling dementia.
Welcome back to Denver 7. More than 5.5 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, and they live with memory loss that often threatens their independence. This week's 7 Everyday Hero helps them regain some control in their lives, starting with just picking up a paintbrush.
I'm doing a flower, and I used to have a big garden that had lots of flowers.
Ida once had a garden surrounding her Denver home filled with beautiful flowers. It's a memory that's awakened by painting images from her past.
To make the day beautiful.
You can sense Ida's joy simply remembering a happy chapter in her life. And that's the whole idea behind this art class.
It's Memories in the Making. It's the art program of the Alzheimer's Association.
Memories in the Making is a nationwide program that's been around for 20 years.
Personal expression is really important. That's something that becomes more difficult during the progression of the disease.
Colorado has more than 100 care communities, like Arbor View Senior Community here in Arvada, that guide 400 people a week through this reawakening using art.
We hope that one of the benefits of the program is to tap into windows, maybe, of past memories.
Susie Frey is an artist who has given her time to facilitate Memories in the Making every week for 18 years.
Did you ever go duck hunting?
Yeah.
You did?
She says painting something from the past, even for those who've never tried it, is like reminiscing over a photo album.
And where was your ranch?
Probably eastern Colorado.
Susie patiently draws a story, a memory, out of each artist.
I love flowers.
Uh-huh.
And I always grew a lot of them when I had my yard.
And she writes it down.
What could we call this picture?
A day in bloom.
A day in bloom.
Because every life has a story worth remembering.
This is called Peonies Gone Wild. We had lots and lots of peonies that grew all along the side of the house in Denver. My mother sent them here from her house in Columbus, Nebraska. We had pink and we had white.
Imagine the love and patience it takes to do this every week.
Susie's got a gift.
And Susie is one of nearly 50 facilitators across the state volunteering for the Alzheimer's Association of Colorado's Memories in the Making program.
Susie, for helping these folks recollect some fond memories. Denver 7 and also American Financing are here to honor you as a 7 Everyday Hero. Congratulations. Wow. Nice work.
Thank you. I am
your work.
honored. Thank you so much.
All right. If you'd like to nominate a hero in your life, go to thedenverchannel.com. If you click on the community section, you'll see our 7 Everyday Heroes.
Those were some good paintings, too.
Yeah, they were good.
Well, looking outside live, 4:45 this morning, and it started off pretty mild this morning. Not going to get too hot, it doesn't look like.
No, today is going to be a pretty cool day, mid-upper 70s, so it's a nice, similar to where we were yesterday.
That's a good change. I like
Good change, yeah. A few more thunderstorms possible, so things could get wet, especially later this afternoon. This morning, you're going to see a little mix of sun and clouds. We're in the 60s, upper 50s to low 60s this morning. Scattered storms expected this afternoon by the time you're heading home, and it does look like we're going to see some wet roads for that evening drive. Today is going to be the coolest day of the week, with those highs in the mid to upper 70s. It's about 10 to 12 degrees below normal. We will get back into the 80s tomorrow, and there is going to be a risk for a few more storms again tomorrow and potentially even a little more severe weather. I'll show you that threat of severe weather today coming up. Right now, 65 in Denver, relative humidity at 67%. We've got a pretty good start to the day. Quiet right now. Fort Collins, you're in the mid-60s. Greeley, 60. Pretty warm out west. We've got Montrose at 63, and right now Grand Junction near 80 degrees this morning. It's a warm start. Now, early on, there's a potential for some patchy fog across parts of northeastern Colorado. Might even get a little drizzle with that early on. And then skies will be, it looks like, partly cloudy through mid-morning. By about 10:30 to 11, we'll start to see a little bit more sunshine. Things will heat up a bit more. You've got some mid to upper 70s for highs. And right around 2 o'clock, 2 to 2:30 is when we'll start to see a few storms develop here along I-25. It is really dry over the western half of the state today, but here in town, with a few of those storms popping up, they're going to turn stronger, and I think mainly east of I-25. So we're likely going to be looking out a little closer to the airport, near Lyman, Greeley, Akron, for the potential of some severe weather. It's going to last through, it looks like, early evening, but even by about 6 o'clock, most of that is going to be well off to the east of the metro area. Now, overnight, though, we've got another chance for some showers and a few thunderstorms, so it could get a little noisy overnight tonight. By early tomorrow morning, we're in the 60s under a partly cloudy sky. Risk of severe weather today. The biggest issue would be some, looks like larger hail and even some wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. There is a risk for a few isolated tornadoes, mainly down across that southeastern corner of the state. And again, that's later today and into the evening. Tomorrow, we're back in the 80s, so we're at about 83. We've got another chance for a few thunderstorms in the afternoon, and then things will start to dry out. It gets a little warmer each day, more mid to upper 80s expected through the end of the week, and plenty of sunshine, Jace. Looks pretty good come Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, looks really nice and a pretty nice drive for us. Just waiting for that overnight construction to get picked up around town. Right now, I've been watching 225 and that east side drive, whether it's the light rail, the R line is moving along just fine. You can see traffic on the north and southbound side of 225 moving along just fine. And take a look at some of the side streets. They look okay, including getting over to the hospital complex, whether it's the VA or Children's or any of the hospitals over there. Looking pretty nice here across C470, Highlands Ranch down through Columbine and Santa Fe, all wide open for us here this morning. And out through Golden, it's also looking pretty nice. Just waiting for the last of the cones to get picked up on I-70. And over the last couple of weeks, it seems like they start picking up the cones at 5:30. And now it looks like they're going to start getting the lanes open. As you say, take a look at the camera over there. They should have the lanes open now by 5:30, which should be what's happening every morning.
Good. Well, now to a Contact 7 consumer alert about fake invoices.
Our team has uncovered a number of cases in which scam artists create bills that look very real in hopes that you'll fork over some cash.
If you receive an invoice or a bill for something you did not purchase, it's okay to ignore it. If you think, I might have purchased this, or I have, but this seems a little bit off, call the company directly, not with the number that's provided on that mailer. Go find the number independently.
Look carefully at any bills you get that are unrelated to any of your recent purchases.
You might find the words, this is just an offer, in very small print.
I'll read that small print there. All right, recycling centers across the country are cracking down on what exactly they pick up. There's a company in Oregon, for example, that's adopted a zero-tolerance trash policy. So it will issue violations to customers who don't properly sort the items. After a number of violations, they just stop service.
What we're trying to do is clean the material up here at home so we're not shipping garbage halfway around the world where it might be rejected anyway.
Because, as you know, many U.S. recycling facilities ship their material to China, but that country has announced they're going to stop taking material that's not in perfect condition. So recycling companies like this one in Oregon have adopted these policies to try to get things cleaned up. There are other companies out there who have started fining their customers if there is trash mixed in with the recycling material.
Well, when you hear ink at a library, you probably think it has something to do with books. But this weekend, some literary lovers got some permanent ink on their bodies. As photojournalist Sarah Bingham found out, those new tattoos will help keep our libraries open.
This is definitely something that's never been done before, and it's kind of unique.
I don't know how many people we've had through, but I would say it's a couple hundred.
My goal in life right now is to change the way that the world looks at tattoos. In order to do that, I need to start changing the hearts and minds of everyone, and anyone that may look at tattoos as a negative thing, we want to change that. Just trying to bring tattooing into a location where it's not normally thought of.
A little Harry Potter action, huh?
It's awesome. We're actually inside of a library tattooing right now.
Kind of like the best place to get a tattoo.
So the library reached out to us about doing a collaboration fundraiser, and we jumped all over it.
All right, you ready for this? Let's do it.
You know, books are just like an opening to outside world for people, and for me it helped when I was in some of the darkest times of my own life. I was incarcerated at the age of 18, and I just feel like books kind of saved my life. I didn't feel like rehabilitation was on the top agenda for anybody in the prison systems, and I had to do it myself. And then I started reading self-help books to just try to get a better awareness about who I am and just different things in the world that are available to us that we might not know if we didn't have books. Now I think it's awesome to be able to give back to the city of Denver and the library to hopefully help some kids here in the city find an alternative so they don't go the same route, or if they already have,